but we're going to talk to him about it instead. So let's invite him into the chat. Oh, big things. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, Sheldon.
I'm here. Hey, my love.
Incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. You look amazing. Look at that eyeshadow. Sunset vibes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Um,
bless.
okay, let's talk about your aesthetic just straight up because you've been wearing like masks and stuff long before COVID. You've glamorized them. Yeah, you have like I I think you're like just like headwear accessories are next level. When did this all
Oh, thank you.
start?
I think it started because I did The Voice the first season in Australia. When I was called back for The Voice All Stars, I was like, let's do something fun and different and really major. I'm like not gonna, obviously you don't introduce yourself, but like the whole audience kind of, because I was so fresh off the last season, I thought let's do something cool. So I thought let's do a crystal mask. Actually, where I'll show you. I've got it here, and it
Yes.
started with this one here, which was made by House of
Whoa.
Emmanuel, and it's like Swarovski crystal realness, and it was just crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to do something that was beautiful and just insane.
How do you find
Like,
these? Do you do research to like get these custom made or something? What is the
so there's this
process?
designer named Emmanuel, whose Instagram's House
Okay.
of Emmanuel. He's
Yeah.
just finished up working with Beyonce. He's done Billie Eilish, Mariah Carey, like Eddie Everett, Katy Perry, so many different big performers. And I got a contact from him, and I was like, I want something epic and incredible. And when when he had this, I was like, how insane is that? I guess if you're gonna go back for All Stars, you gotta kind of
Gotta
step it
go
up a
large.
notch. And I already did a bit of a crazy thing on the first season, so masks,
That's
why not?
insane. Okay, do you get a lot of use out of it? Because surely I imagine that doesn't cost just a penny, you know? You'd want a couple of
No.
heads.
Look, I've worn a heap of different ones, but my whole thing that I love to do is just to make sure I'm always doing something kind of different and I don't know. So like I don't know, when I did America's Got Talent, he created this one for me, which was all silver, and it was
How
kind of
heavy is it?
inspired by COVID because it was just blocking the mouth this time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I get a fair bit of use out of it. Everyone's always wondering where they're from and when I'm gonna, wear a new one. So yeah, I guess.
That's amazing. Guys, if you're a fan of Sheldon, make sure you make him a couple of masks because he is gonna wear them. That's
I,
awesome.
I don't hesitate. The masks are fun, don't you reckon? And I love walking into a room and everyone's looking and they're just like, who the hell are you? And I'm like, oh, I don't really care, but I feel freaking fabulous.
You want to know me.
Bless.
Okay, let's talk the most exciting news. You've got your
Mm,
debut single, More Than I, out on November 6th. This is a
I
big deal.
do.
Picking your debut single is not an easy task. Like, this is your entrance into the world. Tell me
No,
about it.
it's a bit crazy. Like after I did The Voice, everyone was like, when's the new music coming? And I'm like, oh, I'm just not ready. Like music's always been for me, I guess. I never really wanted to share it with anyone. Like I shared art and fashion with people, but music was like for me, I wrote for myself. So then I did The Voice All Stars and they're like, okay, so new music. And I'm like, no, I'm still not ready. And then AGT came and it was crazy. Like there was like 30 million views in the first week. And that was like, geez. And all these people were like, where's the new music? I want to hear more of like what you do. And I was like, nope. And then COVID kind of hit and I was like, do you know what? Let's release a single. Why not? So
Now I've
decided
got
to
a
do it.
captive audience. Let's give
Well,
them something.
I'm always on the run and I'm always doing something or being somewhere. So I think just being stuck in like when I got back from LA, I was in quarantine for 14 days. So I had lots of time to write and yeah, I had someone bring a piano up for me, which was like so random, but it was really awesome. And I did that and it was just good to write and finally take some time to do that.
Do you have a background in songwriting, or was this kind of like, is this a new sort of
No,
Have you always been writing music?
not at all. Like I've never really put my hand up and said, like I've done these shows and I've never put my hand up to say, oh, hey, I want to sing an original. So like again, music writing was just for me. So I don't know. I've never really played with it or even experimented with it with anyone else. Or I've never even done a session before. So I think it's really cool now that I am and I'm working. I've just worked with this guy, Sam Seiko, who I've done the single with, and I'm just so excited to release it because I've had all this music waiting to be released, but I just didn't feel like it was the right time to just drop an album. So I decided
Mm.
let's do a track that is like an epic movie trailer track. And all my biggest songs that I've done have always been really cinematic and orchestral and really big and crazy. So I thought the first single I ever done, let's start from the beginning and make it like an epic movie trailer, and the album can be like the movie later on. So working with Sam, it was really, really cool. It was all like introverted, extroverted energy, and it was dark, and it's emotional, and it's quite epic. And I don't know, not many people have heard me sing to like big beats and everything, but it's pretty full on. Like, it feels like a Hunger Games soundtrack mixed with Lana Del Rey, like that dark spoken Billie Eilish vibe mixed with like Florence and the Machine. So I'm excited. It's going to be cool to finally show people what goes on in my mind.
That was the first thought that I had when I listened to this track, was that it was like quite dichotomous. It's very delicate, but then as you said, it's like very extroverted and cinematic. You've got these beautiful strings, and then you've got like this really dark production behind it. It's like, yeah, it's could be. I imagine you'd already have like a big music video mapped out in your head, right? Like, it's.
Oh, well, that's another big reason why we've decided not to release the whole album, because like visuals and aesthetics are such a big part of what I do, and it's the thing I, really love as well. So I thought, let's just hold off a little bit for the album. Let's tease everyone with this, epic cinematic track that has, all this stuff going on. And then next year, let's really pump out these creative videos, because it's all in my mind. I want to be able to travel when I record these videos and record things in places that no one would even expect to film a music video in.
Yeah, 100%. I can see some really like, desolate, like a desert with just like really dark trees, like, I don't know, burnt trees and something like that. I don't know, like just strange environments. And obviously you've got a really large American fan base now, so you'd want to be able to travel so you can like, share your music with the people. Not sure when America will be open to us, but it's something you got to think about.
Well, look, hopefully soon, but definitely something I'm thinking about. And like, I've always wanted to perform everywhere. Like, when I'm going to do my first tour, I want it to be for everyone, not just the in-country kind of vibe. Like, I want everyone to be able to see what I'm doing. And because I make a lot of my outfits myself, like I made this all myself. Like, I want to be able to tour all this stuff and sell it to people and show people, hey, you can own some of it as well. Because I don't know, it makes me happy when I see other people dressing up as well and feeling themselves, in this cool vibe. It's fun.
I can't imagine what your crowd would look like at your live shows, like when that all kicks off. That would be awesome. What a spectacle. Well, speaking of live shows, though, we should. You've got a sold out performance at the Australian Hair Fashion Awards coming up. What can we expect from that live show?
It's really exciting. So I've decided if I'm not gonna be able to tour, I'm gonna sing my single live for the first time at the Hair and Fashion Awards. And if you check out my page, there's a live link, and everyone can watch my first live performance since America's Got Talent, and it's going to be of my own song. And then I thought I might as well throw in another big number as well. I'm going to perform Creep there as well. So it's just going to be big. It's a big, cool fashion event. And I thought, if I'm going to sing my single for the first time, what better place than a big celebration of avant-garde hair and fashion? Like, how cool is that?
That is awesome. Yeah, that it just suits your brand. And you're obviously not a stranger to, televised performances. As you said, you've been on The Voice and America's Got Talent. And I want to ask you about specifically AGT. Were you scouted for it? How does that work, being an Australian going into that show?
Wow, you're the first person I've spoken to about this. This is exciting. No, AGT came up just after probably All Stars and of The Voice, and they messaged and they were like, your performance because I did Frozen on The Voice, and it kind of went pretty crazy, and they were like, we would love to see you do this on a global scale. Like, a lot of people can't watch Australia's Got Talent from their country, whereas America's Got Talent's massive, and they're like, would love you to bring what you do here, because you're not just a singer, you're kind of like this cool, weird, dark package, and would love to see it over here. What are your thoughts? And I was like, yeah, well, let's do it. Why not? It sounds fun. Actually, I'm lying. In the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's America's Got Talent. But it was like the week before, and I was going to fly over on my own and just sing and all that. But then this was around March when it was all recorded, and that was like the peak of coronavirus. Like, everything shut down. Last flight out of Australia into America, there was no audience, there was nothing. When I got over there, they were like, Heidi Klum's going to be like, judges will be missing from it, and there's going to be no audience. And I had so many people telling me, it probably won't get many views, and we're scared, like, for you, Sheldon, because like the virus was like peak bad at that time. And when I got there, I've never seen LA airport so quiet. It was freaky. It was crazy. So when I got there, I'm like, I'm just gonna sing. I decided to walk out and not speak. I don't know why. I just thought, let's create a cool moment. So I did that, and then yeah, it worked really well. Like everything went really well, and I was really nervous because I kind of thought no one would watch it, but I kind of feel like me just doing me and not being, you know, scared to go out there and do it was a cool move, and just to sing and be in my little space that I'm, you know, in when I perform.
It was like, again, guys, this audition has 4.5 million views on YouTube in the space of 3 months. It's quite impressive. And you can see, like, Simon Cowell, as soon as you walk out, and he's like, "What's your name?" And you just give him a deadpan. You could see his frustration, and I loved it. It was such a, like,
it was crazy.
energy
I was like,
that
no
time.
way in the world he's gonna like this. He's gonna hate it. Like, what Australian goes overseas with all these feathers and dresses up the way that I do and walks out on
Yeah.
stage, and you're standing in front of Simon Cowell, you know this, but like as a singer, I've watched Simon Cowell on all these shows for years, and I didn't even introduce myself. What was I thinking? I don't know, but thank God it worked out well.
But obviously being invited over there, you already have sort of like the idea, like, oh, like, you know, I could probably like play with fire on this one a little bit. Like there's no, you know, like you
Look,
can go a little bolder.
I would love to agree and say like, yeah, I felt so confident I'm going to go over there, but like that was one producer that called me over there. Simon didn't know I
Yeah,
was scouted. I was
this
I
is
was
true.
from The Voice Australia. I didn't even know if he knew who I was or if he'd seen anything
Yeah.
of me, and he didn't. Like when he saw me, he was like, "Oh my gosh, like who are you?" After I performed, and it was crazy. I was so nervous, but I think part of me was just like, let's just go out there and create a moment. Why not? Like it was just
Yeah.
fun.
Obviously paid off in dividends. Okay, I wanna wait, did you so you did an audition of Billie Eilish. I saw you post that you'd actually worn one of her masks that
Oh my gosh,
the
yeah.
designer
So
did.
the guy
How
that
that
did,
happen?
you know, all these other masks for me, Emmanuel, he had a contact with this designer who created crystal masks, and they just finished doing one with Billie Eilish, and they sent it back or something. And then I was speaking to Emmanuel. I was like, I really need a mask for an interview. He's like, oh, I've got Billie Eilish's one, like the same one she wore. And I was like, why do you have it? And he was like, oh, well, because, you know, we're friends. And he just said, here, try these masks out. You can lend them out to people. And I was like, oh my gosh, so I'm about to wear Billie Eilish's mask. I don't have it with me anymore, but in an interview,
No.
I had it on, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing Billie Eilish's mask, which was insane. But I don't know, there's just so many awesome singers that have worn the same pieces. Like some of these ones that I've worn were worn by, I think the first one I wore was worn by Madonna before me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing Madonna's mask right now. Like this is it's insane.
Yo, that is absolutely insane. Okay, so you got your new single coming out on Friday, November 6th, everyone. Put it in your diaries. What else is
Yes.
coming up in your world?
Well,
What can
there's
we
lots
expect?
kind of happening. Like I'm currently writing the rest of this album, and it's insane. It's taking me so much time, but it's yeah. So that's really taking up a lot of my time, so, like crazy. But I've got so much happening. Like performances are opening up again, and I've decided I want to start selling these. So I've been starting to make masks as well, because like why not? I just finished making these ones actually for someone, and I was like, oh my gosh, people would probably want to buy these. They're like Oriental, Japanese inspired, and they've got like dragons and crystals. But yeah, so
God,
I
they're
thought before
amazing.
Christmas, maybe, or even after Christmas, maybe even Valentine's Day, I might open up my own like jewelry kind of collaboration thing. But that's just a sneak peek into the life of me.
Oh my God, Sheldon, I want one. They're sick.
Oh
If
my
you have
gosh,
a
look,
multicolored
you know
one,
what?
you
For
can see I
being
love a bit of color.
honestly, for the first interview about my single, that I was like, I want to do something fun and cool. I'm gonna make you a pair. I'll make you one. Very
That
nice
is
and pink
so
and bright.
sweet. Yes, I would love that. Well, exciting things. All right, guys. Stay tuned for November 6th when you can
Thank
get
you.
your ears on this absolute like cinematic piece of beauty. It looks like you've got some really die-hard fans who just can't wait for you to, have
Oh,
your solo work out in the world.
I love them so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is my
Thank you
first
so much.
live in like this is my first live video in like 2 years. So everyone's been
Oh my
waiting for me to
goodness.
go live, but I don't know. I'm still like, oh, not lives. But I think I might start doing them more. I didn't realize that, people actually want to hear me talk. So
Oh, that's so much fun. Of course they do. Of course they do. Well, once your singles are out, we'll have to have you on and we can do like a little performance or
I would
something.
love that. That'd be great.
Yes. Okay. Sheldon Riley, everyone, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you,
And
my love.
again, congrats on the new music.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
I'm out. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, Sheldon is so lovely, guys. Okay, make sure you stay in tune. Keep up to date.